Hey, good morning, everybody. Derek here from Bomb Socks with more Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. This week is section 81 to 83, and I want to start right out the gate with section 81. In all my seminary teaching years, there's been ways to memorize the First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12, and I've had a lot of clever friends come up with some cool stuff. In fact, one in particular to remember the First Presidency, it is super simple, but here you go. It's a little rhyme. Russell M. Nelson is the prophet you know. Dallin H. Oaks is the next below. Henry B. Eyring is the third you see, and that makes up the First Presidency. Yeah, it's corny, but it's fun. So what I thought I'd do, I'd put my own little spin on 1832. Here we go. Joseph Smith is the prophet you know. Sidney Rigdon is the next below. Jesse Gause is the third you see. Wait, Jesse Gause, who the heck is he? There you go. That, not too clever, but Jesse Gause, this guy is a mystery in church history. Let me show you all I know about Jesse Gause. Here you go. That's his name, and that's the picture. There's nothing about this guy. All we know about Jesse Gause. Now, he was given a promise in section 81 as they've organized the First Presidency. Apparently, he was cool enough to get put into the First Presidency. When you think about all the faithful guys out there in the church, Jesse Gause was put into the First Presidency. I wish I knew more about this man. At one point, he had to be super faithful. In fact, the Lord promised him in section 81, verse 6, he says, "If thou art faithful unto the end, you're going to get a crown of immortality and eternal life in the mansions which I have prepared in the house of my Father." So the problem is, the section heading, it says, Brother Gause served for a time but was excommunicated from the church in December of 1832. So the section was given March of 1832. So if you think about it, he served for 8 or 9 months, and we know nothing about this guy. So again, I'd love to know more about Jesse Gause, what happened to him, but we don't know anything about him. So bring in this man right here, Frederick Granger Williams, Frederick G. Williams. Joseph Smith loved Frederick G. Williams so much that Joseph named one of his own children Frederick Granger Williams Smith. So you know that if a prophet names a kid after you, this guy's got to be pretty cool. But it's interesting, this section was the way it was. All that happens is you just switch out the name Jesse Gause with Frederick G. Williams, and the promisers are still there. The section hasn't changed at all, so the same blessings that could have gone to Jesse Gause went to Frederick G. Williams. And the cool thing about it is they also can come to us as well. In fact, in the Come Follow Me resource, it says, in March of 1832, the Lord calls Jesse Gause to be a counselor to Joseph Smith in the presidency of the high priesthood, which is now called the First Presidency. Section 81 is a revelation to Brother Gause, instructing him in his new calling, promising him blessings for serving faithfully. But Jesse Gause did not serve faithfully. So Frederick G. Williams was called to replace him, and Brother Gause's name was replaced by Brother Williams' name in the revelation. That may seem like a minor detail, but it implies a significant truth. Most of the revelations in the Doctrine and Covenants are addressed to specific people, but we can always seek ways to apply them to ourselves, like it says in 1 Nephi 19, where we liken the scriptures unto us that it might be for our profit and learning. So I'm going to take these promises that were given to Jesse Gause, which went to Frederick G. Williams, but then also to us. Now look at what he's been asked to do, and I'm just going to list them right here. It says, be faithful in counsel, pray always be ministering. That's cool that word was brought up then, and it's such a big thing now. Proclaim the gospel, stand in the office that you have been called, succor the weak, lift hands, strengthen knees. Now back to that Come Follow Me manual, one of the things it says is, here are some questions to help you ponder, particularly verse number 5, and you could certainly look through all of those. What are some ways a person can be weak? What does it mean to succor those who are weak? What might cause a person's hands to figuratively hang down? How can we lift up those hands? What might the phrase feeble knees mean? How can we strengthen those with feeble knees? Perhaps studying this verse has brought to mind someone you could succor, lift up, or strengthen. What will you do to minister to that person? And so I think that's a great lesson for all of us, especially you look at your ministering families, and not even your ministering families, but just look at your neighbors, look at people around you, look at people in your own family. Are there those who need to be succored? Are there those who have hands that are hanging down, feeble knees that need to be lifted up and strengthened. There's tons of messages that I think can help us with that. So anyway, take some time to think through maybe specifically one of these things that might be able to help specifically someone that you know. And maybe there's a name that comes to your mind as you're doing this. Shoot that person a text, give them pray for them, whatever you need to do to help them out. Because really, that's the counsel given then, and it's the same counsel that's given to us now. So love that message. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And thanks for sharing. Godspeed. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.